This is Cinderella. She is without a doubt one of the strongest welfares in the game for how good her kit is in comparison to her competition. It is not an understatement to say she's very comparable to a 5-star DPS like Ozymandias. Now, whether she's better than Kentucky, that's up to you and your account. I do think that if you have all the pieces for Ellie, like normal buster farming shit, Ellie's going to shine more. But if you don't, if you're missing Oberon, if you're missing Vitch, I'm probably better off with Kentucky. Just because of how her kit functions, and you're gonna have a problem getting back to full MP. Only a slight one, not as much as you'd think. Just based on her kit. But you might have problems getting back to your MP if you do not have like all the pieces for her. Alright, let's get started. 9.1 K attack. Good number. She's at the normal point for 4 stars. Above 9K. You're sitting good. Anything lower than that, you're mostly getting damage problems. Riders, neutral modifier. You don't have to worry about them doing less damage, but they're not doing more damage either. This is a really good servant, like disgustingly good for an Ellie. The problem is, and I keep saying this as a joke, the price to pay for her good kit is that you have to listen to her sing all the time. And I know the voice actress for Ellie is gifted. They're not a bad singer whatsoever. I'm just saying lore wise, you have to listen to Ellie sing the entire time you use her. That you're suffering a mental debuff for that. You have to listen to her sing, otherwise she's going to start crying. And despite how much trouble she is, Ellie is a loyal servant to Gouda. She is loyal. So the curse of being a nice person and a good friend, that they have truly suffered mental damage, trauma beyond what their mind can comprehend. Even after going through Avalon, LeFay, they still find a way to suffer more. All right, enough picking on Ellie. Star weight, star gen, rider numbers, MP charge very healthy at 0.87. She has good cards. Do I wish this was 3 hits and not 2? Yeah, but that might have affected her gains a little more. They probably would have just bumped this down more, and honestly, like higher base gain, better quick card for Mighty Chains. We don't have Mighty Chains yet, but when we do get Mighty Chains, like her refund is going to get very, very good. Yeah, also you do, if you have MP gain in your kit, you do want a higher base number, which Ellie does. She actually does, so I don't really care about the hit count here. I'd rather this number be nice and high so that any other MP gain buffs are noticeable. But that's just me on this. Like, it's different on an arts unit, but on a buster, I'd want this base number to be as high as possible. And yeah, 4 hit, but she's got a lot of other stuff, so I don't really care that much. It is a very good 4-star kit, especially for a welfare. There's nothing that like screams absolutely broken up here, but she's just good. She's really, really good at what she does. First skill. Plushie says this is one of the best survivability skills in the game. It's Saber Medusa with more offensive power and a lower cooldown. Yeah, no, I could see that. I know he loves Saber Medusa, and we're actually gonna bring her up right now. Shiki's up because I'll be recording Shiki later today. Medusa. Yeah. Medusa has this skill on a 6-turn cooldown, and she has like way stronger survivability shit. Ellie having the same 3 attacks, 3 turns on an invul, and also getting MP gain so she can get back to her MP. This is strong, especially in buster farming. You basically have invul whenever you need it, and you have like extra MP gain if you need it. Like if you know you're gonna do face cards and doing like some kind of BB card locking shenanigans, and you want 60% MP gain as a buster unit, you just lock down like an arts card or something. Holy shit, yeah, your gauge is going flying. She does put this demerit, but anyone that has ever used Ellie will say you do not care about this shit. This is literally nothing, and you're never gonna even notice it. Like if you do notice it, you're not MPing quick enough. Second skill, buster up 30%, power mod against wild beast enemies for 3 turns. And then another demerit, but again, especially because you have an invul, you don't really care about the defense down because A, it's going to get cleansed off pretty soon, and B, you're not going to take damage during this. Again, if you manage to get your invul burned and start taking damage before you MP, you're not MPing fast enough. You need to do it faster. Sorry, I'm sorry, not sorry. If you are actually taking damage when you have a 3-hit invul, how? Unless you got boss stripped, I don't get that. Third skill, 30 star bomb, 30% battery, skill seals on a 4-turn cooldown. If you pop this skill, you need to be MPing. There is no exception, otherwise it's going to fuck your other cooldowns up so badly. You have to pop in this skill order one, or at least these 2 before this skill, otherwise you can't pop them. She can cleanse on her MP, but if she can't MP, if you pop this skill first, you can't cleanse it off unless you're using Atlas. So you have to pop these 2 and then you pop this. Then when you MP and cleanse, your skill cooldowns are not affected and they're still on these low ass numbers. I'm not like, that is the other selling point to Ellie, is her cooldowns are so stupidly low. You can literally like shotgun some shit where like she's back to back, like starting from 0, and you just MP twice to kill. Like say the Ellie boss on Bleached Earth for JP, you could pretty much guarantee 2-turn that by just doing like double Vitch Oberon and just plugs 2, and just instead of like trying to do it 3 turns, just do it 2 turns, and like you'll probably more likely than not you're killing on that 2nd turn. And if you're not, really should. Like you really should be at that point, because you can just run Black Rail, you can run any other damage CE, and it's gonna get doubled by Oberon. I would definitely advise though that you bring like an MP damage CE over any other thing, because you will have diminishing returns. Oberon can double MP damage. There is no serpent that doubles card buffs. And imagine the cost of that. Like we see MP damage and Oberon doubling it, and it's massive. What about a card buff, which actually affects refund? What is the cost of someone like a unit actually doubling that up? Like I don't even know, because like bricking the unit wouldn't. That's a conversation for another time. Let's keep going with Ellie. Her only passive is writing EX. That is just to make this quick card even better. Pen skills, you're gonna get the coins. She doesn't really do anything against foreigners. It's just foreigners are the ones that are most likely to be debuffing her. So I mean, there's that. I mean, you could mana loading, because she has the 30% battery, get that to 50, and then you're really cooking with fire, and you should have no problem starting from 0. You should have 0 problem. Like honestly, like if you at that point, you're No. I think I was about to say something wrong about the battery. Yeah, no. I mean, you're not gonna need Atlas to like do the shotgun. And honestly, if you, yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. User, she's mostly gonna be used against single target enemies, and the fact that there is caster Ellie boss, she can just like annihilate her pretty easily. Again, though, she is a boss killing servant. This is not bad, and it will clean this up. It does have base gain, so like you're gonna get a lot more refund off this if you really level your extra attack. But again, welfare, it's already gonna be unlocked, so you'll get something out of it to begin with. Just make sure you go through the event. MP. Like I said, she cleanses, and that's the normal effect. He ramps up the attack of Fairy Tale Servants to very similar to what Melisande does. Just you don't see the benefits nearly as much as you do Melisande, just for how Melisande functions. But she does have 20% attack ramp up. That's very, very nice considering Vitch and Oberon do not give attack buffs. That is that I want to say is probably Ellie's best point. That what she has that works with Oberon and Vitch is something they don't give. This is a new type of buff that multiplies with all her other damage. And because she's stacking attack, it is not the worst idea to like rail her maybe to 100 or rail her to 90, maybe 100 if you're feeling frisky. But yeah, she has very, very nice numbers. She has what she has multiplies well with the supports for Buster. Leveling, honestly, not that bad. The lamps probably are gonna be the biggest issue for people. Yggdrasil seeds, they come from lottos. Yeah. Appends is probably where you're gonna run into issues more, but again, not as bad as a lot of other servants, honestly. Like, these mirrors show up a lot, but you don't ever need that much of them. Like you're never needing like 20 of them, right? Like it's always like increments of like 8 per skill. So you might need 20 of these, but it's usually just for the character. And how I mostly do events, like that's usually enough. But to each their own. Not everyone plays events to completion. Bond CE ups critical damage of Fairy Tale Servants by 30% while she's on the field. She does not have a crit buff. As you see in her kit, she does not have a crit buff. If they ever give her Bond CE as a passive, her passive is just 30% crit damage for herself and any ally. Oh my god, like this is a good one for her, just because of that. Now, I'm not saying use this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like if they ever do good changes to Bond CEs, this is a really good one for her to have. Like I honestly would prefer this. Give her a new buff over one that she already has. All right, so let's talk actual damage. Let us talk the actual damage. She's sitting here, 54k. She's beaten out by Ozzy. If you have MP2 Ozzy, Ellie's probably not touching him. But the wild beast thing, when it comes up, which is some bosses, it's not that common. Not servants, at least. So most nodes for events, you might have problems, especially casters. You might have problems finding wild beast casters. But you know, her kit functions. She functions much easier in like Buster 3 turns than Ozzy does, mostly because of like the battery reasons. Ozzy only has a 20, while Ellie has a 30. She does work better for that. Like Ozzy can't. They're a lot more restrictive in what you do. But Ozzy is definitely more challenge quest oriented than more 3-turn farming. And in comparison to Kentucky, so Kentucky, his refund is stupid on his cards. That when you have Scotty buffs, his refund gets stupid. His quick crit damage gets stupid. But remember, he is quick. You are very heavily reliant on card RNG to do your farming. If you are not getting cards when you need them, or you don't have enough charge, you're not going to be looping. Ellie, you can kind of get away with it because you're always planning that you're not going to get any refund. You are already building for a team like that. But that's assuming your Ellie is like maxed out. If you have scuffed cooldowns on any Buster unit, your farming is scuffed. I used a Cuckoo that was 6, 10, 10. She goes from needing to card wave 2 on a Bleached Earth mission to getting so much overkill it's no longer an issue. All because of like she was able to double stack a turn quicker. That turn quicker makes all the difference when we're talking about Buster farming and reducing cooldown. So if your Ellie is not at least 6, you're definitely not going to see her as strong as she should be. Well, Kentucky, it's mostly his base stats and just getting him Scotty. Like, you kind of don't care about having all his skills maxed out. It's just, he's just good. His base is just so set. His support gives him exactly what he needs to be like refunding and doing damage. And yes, Ushi's here too, but Ushi's had so many buffs, and Ushi has problems getting back because her face cards suck. Ushi needs Scotty to function in like good setups. Kentucky really wants Scotty, but he has a little more flexibility. In the current game landscape, I do think Ellie is stronger than Kentucky. In the current game state, Kentucky, I feel, has needed a buff, but it's because he performs so good, he doesn't like absolutely need it. There's nothing wrong with his kit function wise, but it's just outdated. This is the first welfare I got, but like obviously excluding the other Elizabeth. This is the first welfare I got on my JP main account. You guys know which account I'm talking about. The one with, like, the MP3 Charlemagne. This unit carried me through a lot of content until I started getting Ozzy. This unit carried me through stuff once I got my Vitch. She is a very strong unit, very well built, and like this is the standard. This really feels like the standard. Like, welfares have gotten so good lately. They've really gotten so much better over the years, and this is just a shining example of it. Would glittering have worked better or shining? Dazzling? I don't fucking know. I'm not trying to enable Ellie here. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.